Commander Jake Morrison floated in the command room of Mining Station Alpha, his gaze fixed on the colossal drills burrowing into the asteroid's rocky crust. To any external observer, it appeared to be an ordinary mining operation. But the truth was far more perilous. Jake placed a steady hand on the reinforced window, a slight smile playing on his lips. 3 miles beneath the surface, thousands of workers labored tirelessly. Not to extract valuable minerals or rare elements, but to construct something unprecedented in the galaxy's history. "Commander, we've got an issue," said Lieutenant Amy Chen, her tone tense, as she floated into view. "Right." Her worried expression gave away the gravity of the situation. "The Galactic Council has dispatched another inspection team. Aida, 6 hours." Jake turned to face her, his demeanor composed despite the alarming news. After 2 decades of managing this covert operation, he had grown adept at diffusing crises. Inform Dr. Carter to activate the false data systems. Ensure all construction. Halts immediately. Get the decoy mining crews into position. The asteroid, officially catalogued as Mining Site 7, was no mere mining hub. It was Titan's Hammer, a massive warship in the making. For 15 years, humanity had secretly transformed asteroids and small planetary bodies into colossal battleships. The secrecy was so intense that only 300 individuals in all of humanity were privy to the operation, deep within the asteroid. Dr. Lisa Carter worked amidst advanced technology that bordered on the miraculous. She had dedicated her career to developing systems capable of masking this massive undertaking. Her quantum stealth fields rendered entire mountains invisible. Her gravity manipulation drives could relocate moon-sized objects. And her self-assembling robots could erect cities in mere weeks. "Lisa, we need stealth systems operational immediately." Jake's voice crackled through her comms. "Already on it," Lisa replied, her hands dancing across glowing holographic interfaces. 10 minutes, and the asteroid will look completely solid. On their scans, Lisa's technological innovations had propelled humanity far beyond the Galactic Council's outdated capabilities. While the Council's fleets relied on fusion drives and metallic hulls, humanity's ships could manipulate spacetime itself. The aliens, convinced of humanity's inferiority, remained oblivious to the transformation taking place in the outer solar system. Meanwhile, Admiral Ben Rodriguez monitored progress from his command center within the Dwarf Planet series. Around him, displays showed real-time updates from 12 construction sites, each building a warship of planetary proportions. This colossal effort spanned 50 years of meticulous planning and absolute secrecy. "Admiral, another diplomatic message from the Zilani Empire," reported Captain Steve Miller. "They're demanding clarification on our increased mining activities." Scanned the message, his jaw tightening. The Zilani, the galaxy's most condescending species, viewed humans as little more than children needing guidance. They had no inkling of humanity's true capabilities. "Send the usual response," Ben instructed. "Tell them we're expanding mining operations to meet council tax requirements." The lie rolled off his tongue effortlessly. For decades, humanity had played its part as the weak and underdeveloped species, enduring unfair trade deals, strict technology bans, and invasive inspections. All the while, they worked in secret, constructing weapons of unparalleled power. The Galactic Council's greatest miscalculation had been their treatment of Earth upon first contact half a century ago. By classifying humans as a lesser species, they imposed strict limitations on their growth and demanded resources and tributes. But what they failed to grasp was humanity's resilience and unity when facing adversity. Across Earth, nations had come together in a monumental effort, pooling their expertise, labor, and resources to ensure humanity would never again be vulnerable. Scientists, engineers, miners, soldiers, all shared a singular purpose: to secure humanity's future and stand tall in a galaxy that had underestimated them. Jake watched as the alien inspection vessel approached through the asteroid's disguised sensors. Its design was standard for the Galactic Council: sleek, efficient, and utterly predictable. The inspectors aboard would run their scans, collect their samples, and submit their routine reports. They would remain blissfully unaware that they were stepping into one of humanity's most potent and concealed weapons. Stealth systems are fully operational. Lisa's voice confirmed over the comm. They'll see exactly what we want them to see. The alien ship docked with the mock mining station erected on the asteroid surface. 3 Zilani inspectors disembarked, their towering purple forms exuding the usual haughty confidence. Jake greeted them with a respectful bow and a carefully practiced smile. "Welcome to Mining Site 7, he said in the formal tone the aliens expected. "We are honored by your visit, Inspector Ethel." The lead Zilani's expression was a mix of disdain and impatience. "Your mining efficiency has declined by 12% this quarter. The Council demands improvement." "We apologize for the shortfall," Jake responded, feigning deference. "Technical challenges with deeper excavations have delayed progress." For the next 4 hours, the aliens meticulously inspected the faux mining equipment and interrogated workers who had been carefully briefed for such encounters. Their scans revealed nothing unusual, just solid rockware. In reality, humanity's greatest secret lay under construction. Once the aliens departed, Jake returned to the True Control Center. Around him, screens displayed the full scale of their efforts. The asteroid's hollowed-out core had been transformed into a state-of-the-art weapons platform equipped with gravity generators, quantum shields, and planet-destroying armaments. "How much longer do we need?" Jake asked Dr. Carter. 6 months to finish this one," she replied, her tone uneasy. "But Jake, surveillance is tightening. They're starting to ask tougher questions." Jake nodded gravely. Intelligence reports suggested that some alien factions were running out of patience with humanity. Rumors hinted at plans to relocate the human population to prison colonies and convert Earth into an alien settlement. "Then we'd better be ready," Jake said, his gaze fixed on the display showcasing humanity's hidden fleet. 12 planet-sized warships, each capable of annihilating entire alien armadas. The galaxy still believed humans were weak and primitive. That misconception wouldn't last much longer. Far above, Ambassador Helen Brooks stood on the observation deck of the Galactic Council flagship, watching Earth's serene rotation below. The immense alien vessel had arrived 3 days earlier, accompanied by the largest fleet ever to encircle the planet, over 3,000 ships. Bristling with weaponry aimed at Earth's surface, the Council has reached its final decision, declared. "Hi, Chancellor Vexer, the Zilani leader." His violet skin seemed to glisten with satisfaction as he handed Helen a data slate. "Humanity has 48 hours to comply." Helen scanned the ultimatum, concealing her growing alarm behind a calm exterior. The terms were catastrophic. 90% of the human population was to be exiled to distant prison worlds.
Alice.
Earth would become a Zilani colony, all military forces disbanded, and any resistance met with total annihilation. "These terms are unacceptable," Helen said softly. "My government will need time to propose alternatives." "There are no alternatives," Fleet Admiral Marcus Stone of the Corvain Federation interjected smugly. The alien warrior's satisfaction was palpable. Humanity has proven itself incapable of self-governance. "This is not a negotiation, it is an edict." Requesting to return to Earth to deliver the terms, Helen boarded her shuttle. As it descended, she activated a secure channel. "This is Ambassador Brooks," she said, her voice steady. "The package has been delivered." "Repeat, the package has been delivered." In a secure bunker beneath the White House, President Katie Williams received the coded message. Around her, leaders of Earth's nations awaited her decision. Everyone in the room understood the implications of the message. Project Titan was entering its final phase. "Admiral Rodriguez," Katie said, her voice firm as she spoke into her comms. "You are authorized to initiate Operation Revelation. It's free." 100 miles beneath Ceres' surface, Admiral Ben Rodriguez received the order he had anticipated for his entire career. Around him, the command center came alive with coordinated activity as officers executed plans decades in the making. "All stations, this is command," Ben announced. "Begin final countdown. Prepare for emergence." Across the solar system, humanity's concealed giants stirred to life. Engines hidden for years roared into action on 11 separate asteroids and dwarf planets. Each planet-sized warship, meticulously crafted in secrecy, began its journey toward Earth. On board Titan's hammer, Jake felt the vibrations as the colossal ship activated. Artificial gravity systems hummed to life, stabilizing the vessel's internal environment. Weapon systems, dormant for security reasons, powered up in preparation for deployment. All departments report readiness, Lieutenant Amy Chen announced. We're go for emergence. Jake scanned the faces of his crew, his heart swelling with pride. These men and women had dedicated their lives to ensuring humanity's survival. Now their sacrifices would finally bear fruit. The human fleet consisted of only 200 aging vessels. The aliens anticipated complete surrender within hours. Admiral Stone, as the sensor officer called, we're detecting unusual gravitational anomalies across the system. Stone barely glanced up from the attack plans. It's probably just solar activity. These primitive systems are always unstable. The officer hesitated. Sir, the anomalies are intensifying, and they're originating from multiple locations. Stone waved. Him off. Ignore it. Focus on the human fleet's positions. I want this over quickly. Meanwhile, on Earth, President Katie Williams addressed the United Earth Assembly in an emergency session broadcast globally. Most citizens believed their leaders were debating the impossible choice, enslavement or annihilation. The Council has given us 48 hours, Katie announced solemnly. We must decide whether to accept their terms or face the consequences of resistance. The debate that followed was a meticulously staged performance. Reformed leaders championed defiance with fervor, while those in the dark argued for submission. The theater served its purpose to portray the final decision as a desperate gamble rather than the culmination of decades of preparation. Above Earth, alien fleet began detecting more strange gravitational phenomena. Ships reported moving, distortions that baffled their science officers. None of them had ever encountered technology capable of causing such effects. Aboard the hidden warship Colossus near Jupiter, Captain Steve Parker watched the alien fleet with quiet determination. His ship remained invisible to alien detection, like the others awaiting orders. Sir, the tactical officer reported, the alien fleet is spreading out into attack formation. Steve nodded. The aliens were growing impatient, and their next step would be to threaten Earth's cities. He addressed his crew, his voice steady. All hands prepare for emergence. After 50 years of hiding, it's time to show the galaxy what humanity can do. Across the solar system, 12 colossal vessels began their final approach toward Earth. Each ship, the size of a small moon, bristled with planet-shattering weaponry. The galaxy's arrogant overlords were about to face the reckoning they never saw coming. At precisely noon Earth Standard Time, the 48-hour deadline expired. Fleet Admiral Marcus Stone sat in his command chair aboard the Galactic Council flagship, awaiting humanity's surrender. Instead, a calm human voice echoed across. All channels, attention, Galactic Council Fleet. This is Admiral Ben Rodriguez of the Terran Defense Force. The Sol system belongs to humanity. You have 1 hour to vacate our space or face the consequences. Stone barked a laugh. Open a channel, he ordered. I want to speak to this. Fool. The link connected. Admiral Rodriguez Stone sneered. You are outnumbered 15-1. Your outdated fleet is no match for our firepower. Surrender now, or we will destroy every city on your planet. The human admirals. Response was calm and unyielding. Admiral Stone, you're about to learn why that would be a grave mistake. Before Stone could retort, his sensor officer shouted an alert. Massive gravitational distortions detected. Space itself rippled and tore around the alien fleet as 12 gargantuan objects materialized from stealth. The ships dwarfed anything the Council had ever constructed. Commander Jake Morrison stood on the bridge of Titan's hammer, watching his vessel take its place directly between Earth and the alien flagship. Around him, his crew operated with disciplined precision. All weapon arrays ready, Lieutenant Amy Chen reported. Shields at full power. Jake's gaze hardened as he surveyed the alien fleet. For 50 years, they've treated us like children. Now, they'll learn what humans can achieve when united. Target the flagship, Jake ordered. Let's make a proper introduction. Dr. Lisa Carter monitored Titan's hammer systems from the engineering deck. The gravity shields she had developed distorted space-time, rendering the ship impervious to alien scans. Quantum armor capable of withstanding the Council's strongest weapons hummed at full capacity. Engineering to bridge, Lisa reported. All systems operating at peak efficiency were combat-ready. Fleet Admiral Stone stared at his screens, disbelief etched on his face. The objects encircling his fleet were impossibly massive, their energy readings defying all known limits. How? Many ships? Stone demanded, his voice breaking. The sensor officer's voice trembled as he stared at his console. But sir, these readings can't be accurate. Each ship registers the mass of a small planet. That's impossible, Admiral Stone muttered. No civilization has the capability to construct ships of that size. His tactical officer interrupted, panic creeping into his tone. Sir, they're powering weapons. Energy levels are ... off the scale. Stone's confidence faltered. The realization struck him like a physical blow. These were not the primitive humans described in Council intelligence reports. All ships, open fire immediately, he bellowed. Destroy those vessels before they can attack. The Galactic Council? Fleet obeyed without hesitation. 3,000 ships unleashed their full arsenal simultaneously. The black void of space erupted with light as energy beams, plasma bursts, and missile swarms converged on the human ships. The outcome seemed inevitable, till it wasn't. The weapons vanished into nothingness. Human ships cloaked in gravitational shielding absorbed the onslaught without so much as a scratch. Dr. Lisa Carter's technology bent space-time around each vessel, harmlessly redirecting the torrent of destruction. Is that the best you can do? Admiral Rodriguez's calm voice taunted over the coms. Now let us show you what real weapons look like. The 12 colossal human warships opened fire in unison. Their weapons, powered by artificial stars and harnessed quantum singularities, unleashed beams of energy brighter than the sun. Concentrated. With the force of a supernova, the alien fleet never stood a chance. Captain Steve Parker, aboard Colossus, watched as entire sections of the Council fleet evaporated into nothingness. The galaxy's most advanced shields and armor were no match for humanity's technological marvels. Direct hit on enemy Formation 7, his weapons officer reported. 43 ships destroyed. Maintain fire, Steve ordered. Target their command vessels. Alien fleet faltered. Their disciplined formations dissolved into chaos as ships desperately attempted to retreat. But retreat was impossible. The human fleet, powered by gravity manipulation drives, moved with impossible agility. They could accelerate instantaneously, change direction without inertia, and appear where no enemy could anticipate. On Earth, Ambassador Helen Brooks stood on an observation platform, her gaze fixed on the heavens. The night sky was alight with flashes of humanity's retribution. After decades of oppression, humanity was no longer submitting, it was leading the charge. Madam Ambassador, her aide reported, we've received multiple surrender requests from alien vessels. Helen didn't hesitate. Direct them to Admiral Rodriguez. This is a military matter now. Aboard the Council flagship, Admiral Stone faced the unthinkable. His ship shuddered under relentless fire. His shields were failing, weapons destroyed, and half his crew was either dead or incapacitated. Sir, we've lost over 2,000 ships, the tactical officer reported grimly. We need to retreat immediately. Stone stared at the tactical display, his horror mounting. In less than 30 minutes, humanity had obliterated the largest fleet ever assembled. Their weapons were decades, perhaps centuries ahead of anything the Council possessed. All surviving ships, emergency retreat, Stone commanded.
Out.
To hyperspace immediately, fewer than 200 vessels escaped. Carrying the galaxy's most shocking revelation, humanity was no longer weak and defenseless. The species the Council had belittled and oppressed had built weapons capable of annihilating entire civilizations. On Titan's hammer, Commander Jake Morrison watched as the remnants of the alien fleet vanished into hyperspace. The battle was won, but he knew the war was far from over. "This is just the beginning," Jake murmured, his voice resolute. "Now the galaxy knows what we're capable of, and they won't underestimate us again." Dr. Lisa Carter, now stationed aboard Goliath, reviewed the latest data streams from Captain Parker's reconnaissance mission. The news of alien superweapon construction sites had sent ripples through the Terran Defense Command. "We underestimated them," Lisa admitted during a high-level briefing. "While we built our fleet in secrecy, they've been preparing for the possibility of an existential threat. They may not have expected us to be that threat, but now we are." Admiral Rodriguez nodded gravely. "This isn't just about survival anymore. It's about shaping the galaxy's future. If the Council has been working on weapons for 2 decades, they likely have allies we haven't accounted for. That's not the worst part." Captain Parker's voice came over the comm. "Our scans also detected a new type of weapon, a planetary disruptor. The readings suggest it's capable of annihilating entire biospheres." The room fell silent.
Humanities?
Triumph at Earth now seemed like a temporary reprieve. Zilani responds back in the Zilani system. Emperor Vexitar had received Goliath's message. The sheer audacity of humanity's demand for equality was enough to make his blood boil, but the reports from his fleet commander tempered his fury with unease. "How can a single vessel challenge an empire?" Vexitar demanded. "It's not just a vessel, sire," the military commander replied. "It's a declaration, proving that their strength lies not only in technology, but in their willingness to use it." Vexitar considered his options. Engaging the Goliath directly was suicide, but submitting to the humans would undermine the Zilani Empire's reputation across the galaxy. His mind raced through scenarios, each more precarious than the last. "Open a channel to the human ship," he ordered. The holographic form of Captain Amy Foster appeared before him, calm and composed. "Emperor Vexitar," she began, "I understand your hesitation, but know this. Humanity does not seek to dominate. We seek coexistence. Your choice is simple: accept peace or face a war that will cost you everything." Vexitar studied her intently. The human captain's words were measured, her resolve unshaken. He clenched his fists. "You speak of peace while threatening annihilation. That is not diplomacy. It is extortion." "Survival," Amy replied. "For centuries, humanity endured oppression and condescension from the likes of you. Now, we have the means to ensure our future, and we won't hesitate to use it. But peace remains our preference." Vexitar's silence spoke volumes. The Council's next move on, the Galactic Council's core world. Surviving leaders convened in secrecy. The Council chambers, once filled with arrogance and confidence, now resonated with unease. Fleet Admiral Stone, still recovering from his injuries, presented a grim report. "We cannot match their technology," Stone admitted, his voice hoarse. "But we can overwhelm them with numbers. Our allies must mobilize every ship, every soldier, every resource. If we don't unite now, humanity will dominate the galaxy within a decade." A counselor from the Zilani delegation raised a hand. "And what of diplomacy? They claim to seek peace. Shouldn't we at least explore the possibility?" "Diplomacy?" Another counselor spat. "They humiliated us, destroyed our fleet, and left us scrambling like children. They must be crushed." The debate raged, but the underlying consensus was clear. The Council would not surrender its position as the galaxy's dominant power. Plans were set in motion to forge alliances, consolidate resources, and prepare for a war unlike any in recorded history. Humanity prepares back on Earth. President Williams addressed a unified planet. Her voice carried both the weight of recent victories and the sobering reality of what lay ahead. "Today, we stand at the precipice of a new era," she began. "The galaxy now knows humanity's strength, but strength alone will not secure our future. Unity, determination, and innovation will let us honor the sacrifices that brought us here by ensuring a legacy of resilience and hope." Across human-controlled space, factories ramped up production, scientists worked tirelessly to refine technologies, and the fleet prepared for the inevitable. Humanity had revealed its hand, But the game was far from over. Dr. Carter, reviewing the alien disruptor data, voiced what many feared. This isn't just a war for survival. It's a war for the soul of the galaxy. It's hidden in an asteroid field surrounded by a defensive grid. Scans show hundreds of life signs, most likely slaves. Amy clenched her fists. The Council's neglect had allowed these atrocities to flourish. But now, under humanity's protection, things were different. "Bring us in close," Amy ordered. "Disable their defenses, but leave the station intact. I want those slaves rescued and the raiders captured for trial." The Goliath surged forward, its gravitational shielding absorbing the feeble shots from the raiders' weaponry. Within moments, precision strikes disabled the station's defensive grid and engines. Boarding teams stormed the base, freeing hundreds of captives from dozens of species. The Corvain threat back on New Olympus. Admiral Rodriguez received an urgent report. The Corvain Federation was amassing its forces at the edge of human space. Reconnaissance indicated a fleet of over 5,000 ships, more than double the size of humanity's combined fleet. "The Corvins are testing us," Lisa Carter explained during a strategic briefing. "They want to see if we'll fold under the pressure." "Of overwhelming force?" Rodriguez leaned forward. "We won't give them that satisfaction." "Dr. Carter, how close are we to completing the black hole energy project?" Lisa hesitated. "We've made significant progress. Prototypes are operational, but they're untested in combat scenarios. Deploying them now would be a gamble." Rodriguez nodded grimly. "We don't have a choice. If the Corvins break through, they'll destroy everything we've built." A clash of titans, the Corvain fleet, a vast armada of warships bristling with weapons, emerged on the edge of the Sol system. Their commander, High Warlord Karath, broadcast a message to humanity. "Humans, your rise ends here. Submit to the Corvain. Federation, or be annihilated." Supreme Commander Rodriguez stood resolute in New Olympus's command center. "Karath, humanity will never submit. Your empire's reign of terror ends today." The two fleets clashed in a battle that lit up the void of space. The Corvins relied on sheer numbers and brute force, their ships swarming like locusts. Humanity's fleet, though smaller, utilized advanced gravitational shields and precision energy weapons, turning the Corvins' numerical advantage against them. Lisa Carter's new black hole weapons were unleashed for the first time. Massive energy pulses, powered by the immense gravitational force of miniature singularities, ripped through the Corvain fleet. Entire formations were erased in seconds, leaving behind nothing but glowing remnants. The tide began to turn, but the Corvins were relentless. Karath ordered his ships to ram the human vessels, desperate to break their lines, turning the tide as the battle raged. Reinforcements arrived, ships from the Altarian Republic, the Centauri Federation, and even smaller species that had signed the Terran Accords. Inspired by humanity's ideals and determined to end the Corvins' tyranny, they joined the fight. The combined fleet overwhelmed the Corvins, forcing Karath to order a retreat. Out of his original armada, only a fraction managed to escape. The rest were destroyed or captured. A new Aerith, the victory solidified humanity's position as the galaxy's leading power. The Corvain Federation, crippled by their defeat, signed the Terran Accords. For the first time in galactic history, a government based on equality and mutual cooperation replaced millennia of oppression and war. President Williams addressed the galaxy once more, her voice resolute yet hopeful. "We have proven that peace is not just a dream but a reality we can build together. The future is ours to shape, a future where every species has a voice, where no one lives in fear, and where we rise together as one galaxy." The stars no longer bore witness to endless conflict, but to the dawn of a united galaxy. Humanity had not only survived, but had become the beacon of hope for countless civilizations. And among those stars, Lisa Carter, Amy Foster, Ben Rodriguez, and countless others stood ready, knowing that vigilance and unity would be the keys to preserving the hard-won peace. And the question is, are we ready for the cost? President Katie Williams addressed the galaxy from the former Corvain capital world, now under Terran Accord administration. Standing before an assembly of species that spanned countless systems, she spoke with unwavering conviction. When today we close the book on an era of oppression and fear, she declared, humanity did not rise to power, to dominate or destroy, but to build and protect. The galaxy is vast enough for all species to thrive. Together, we will forge a future where justice, equality, and peace prevail. The assembly erupted into applause, a cacophony of voices and gestures from beings of all shapes and forms. For the first time, hope outshone fear in the hearts of billions. Vigilance and Reconstruction Admiral Ben Rodriguez remained cautious despite humanity's triumphs. At New Olympus, he convened with the top military and scientific minds to address lingering threats and prepare for unforeseen challenges. Victory is not the end, Rodriguez reminded his council. The galaxy is watching, and there will always be those who resist change or seek to exploit our ideals. Dr. Lisa Carter presented plans for a new initiative, the Stellar Peace Corps, equipped with advanced technology. The corps would aid civilizations devastated by war and neglect, showing that humanity's strength could also be a force for healing. Captain Amy Foster, now a symbol of justice, continued her patrols in the Goliath, assuring that the galaxy's most vulnerable were protected. Each mission reinforced the message: oppression and cruelty would no longer be tolerated. The Terran Accord in action within a year? The Terran Accord had grown to include over 80 species. Former enemies became allies as they worked together to rebuild their worlds and economies. Trade flourished, scientific collaborations blossomed, and cultural exchanges created bonds that transcended old rivalries. On the edges of known space, humanity's planet ships patrolled not as conquerors but as guardians of peace. The galaxy had entered a new era, and though challenges remained, humanity's leadership offered a beacon of hope for all, the dream of a united galaxy, where every species could thrive in equality, had seemed impossible just years before. But through courage, ingenuity, and the unyielding belief in a better future, Commander Jake Morrison stood tall on the bridge of Titan's Hammer, gazing at the mesmerizing display of an uncharted alien star system on the edge of the galaxy. Planet below glimmered with the lights of a fledgling civilization, its cities sprawling across lush continents. This was a moment of significance, a new chapter in the story of humanity's role in the galaxy, commanded the planet's defense. Grid is activated, reported the tactical officer. Their scans are crude, but they're definitely focused on us. Jake nodded, his expression calm. They're curious, not hostile. Let's ensure our first impression reflects our intentions. Open a wideband communication channel, I sir replied. The communications officer, fingers dancing across the console. Jake straightened and spoke clearly. His voice carrying the weight of humanity's message across light years. To the people of this world, we are the Terran Accord, travelers and guardians of peace. We come in friendship and offer knowledge, cooperation, and protection. It is our mission to ensure that all species in the galaxy thrive together in harmony. Alien response was immediate, a burst of signals and messages in an unrecognized language. Quickly, the onboard AI deciphered the basic structure, rendering a live translation. Visitors from the stars, we are honored and amazed by your presence, came the tentative reply. We wish to learn from you, but fear the unknown. What do you seek? Jake smiled, his voice carrying a warmth meant to reassure. We seek mutual growth. We offer our guidance, but we will not interfere with your sovereignty. Our only request is that your people join us in preserving peace among the stars. As the communication continued, the alien leaders cautiously welcomed humanity's arrival. Their awe tempered by a hope for a brighter future. The dialogue marked the beginning of a new alliance, one rooted in cooperation rather than dominance. The guardians of galactic peace, the galaxy, had indeed learned not to underestimate humanity. Stories of planet-sized ships, weapons capable of reshaping space-time, and the Terran Accord's unyielding justice had become legendary. Yet it was not fear but respect that defined humanity's new era. The Terran Accord's emissaries worked tirelessly to bridge divides and foster understanding. They approached each new civilization with care, ensuring that humanity's power was seen as a shield, rather than a sword. Under the leadership of figures like Commander Morrison and Ambassador Katie Williams, the galaxy was experiencing a renaissance of unity and cooperation. Where once empires had risen and fallen through conquest, now civilizations found strength in alliance. A future lit by the stars as Titan's hammer departed the newly allied world. Jake Morrison looked out at the stars, feeling a deep sense of purpose. Each system they visited, each alliance they formed, was a step toward a galaxy where peace was not just an ideal, but a reality. "We're not just building an alliance," he said quietly, more to himself than anyone else. "We're building a legacy." The stars shone brighter, as if in agreement, lighting the path for humanity's journey as the guardians of a just and united galaxy. Humanity had transformed that dream into reality.